Hello class, our topic of discussion for today is angles of elevation and depression. From the diagram on the marker board, we'll see that we have angles of elevation, we have angle of depression, we have the elevated view, we have the horizontal view, and we have the depressed view. Now, the angle of elevation, E degrees, is the angle between the horizontal view and the elevated view, while the angle of depression, D degrees, is the angle between the horizontal view and the depressed view. So we notice that in both definitions, horizontal view is a constant. So any diagram we want to draw under angles of elevation and depression, the first thing to take into consideration will be our horizontal view. From there, we have any other angles being formed. I repeat, the first diagram to take into consideration while taking angles of elevation and depression is the horizontal view, because that will give us our direction. So if we are discussing angle of elevation, it means we must have horizontal view and the elevated view. But if we are discussing angle of depression, we must have horizontal view and depressed view. Now class, to solve questions under angles of elevation and depression, we need 5 things that are very important. So once you can study, memorize all these requirements, that means questions under elevation and depression will be very easy. The first one is what we call the acronym SOHCAHTOA. Now, this is applicable only to a right-angled triangle. I repeat, the acronym SOHCAHTOA is applicable only to a right-angled triangle. So stands for sine, which is equals to opposite all over hypotenuse. CA represents cosine, which is equal to adjacent all over hypotenuse. While TOA, T stands for tangent, which is equal to opposite all over adjacent. So looking at that diagram there, we have the opposite side, we have the adjacent side, and we have the hypotenuse side. The hypotenuse side is the side that faces the angle 90. I repeat, the hypotenuse side is always the side that faces the angle 90, while the opposite side is the side that faces the given angle. The opposite side is the side that faces the given angle. So the adjacent is always determined after both the opposite side and the hypotenuse side have been discovered. I repeat, the adjacent side is the last side standing after we've gotten our opposite side and the hypotenuse side. Now, going to the second requirement, Pythagoras theorem is applicable. This one also is to a right-angled triangle. Pythagoras theorem states that the sum of the opposite square and our adjacent square must be equal to the hypotenuse square. So if I have a given right-angled triangle ABC with sides A, B, C, then our small b will represent the hypotenuse side, our small c will represent the opposite side, and our small a will represent the adjacent side. So from there, we have our b squared equal to c squared plus a squared. That is our what? Our Pythagoras theorem. The third requirement says the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. So any diagram you have under angles of elevation and depression that depicts a rectangle, it means the opposite side of that rectangle must be equal. You'll be given one side. It's not left for you to know that this shape is a rectangle. So which implies from the diagram, our ABCD is a rectangle. AB is Y, DC is Y. So AD, line AD will be equal to line BC. Line AD will be equal to line BC. So our AD is X rather, and our BC is X. So in that case, we have AD equals to BC, which will be equals to X. And our AB equals to DC. Given AB as Y, it therefore implies that our DC must also be equal to Y. I think you understand what I'm trying to explain here. And the third one, the fourth one rather, the length of a line divided into segments by a point
is equal to the segments formed. So we have the line here, line AC. The point that divides the line AC into segment is point B. So from A, B, C, our length AC will be equal to line AB plus line BC. So if our AB, the line, is given as X, and our B to C is given as Y, so which implies the total length AC will be equal to line AB plus line BC, which will give us X plus Y. Then the fifth one, which is very key too, alternate angles are equal for angles of depression only. I repeat, alternate angles are equal for angles of depression only. So from that diagram, we have our what? Alternate angle for both E and D. So that diagram represents the combination of angle of elevation and angle of depression. So from here, we have our E to be equals to our D. Now, we are going to be using all these formula to solve questions in angle of elevation and depression. The choice of the formula to be used will depend largely on the question being supplied. So here, example 1, we have a man is at a point 18 meters away from the foot of a tree. From that point, the angle of elevation of the top of the tree is 30 degrees. Calculate the height of the tree. The first thing, we shall draw a diagram explaining the question. From here, we have the diagram like that. The man is standing at the point 18 meters away from the foot of the tree. So F is the foot of the tree, white T represents the top of the tree. Then the man is being represented by point A. So from that point, we have 18 meters, and the angle of elevation on top of the tree from the man is 30 degrees. So that arrow is pointing upward, which implies we have our elevated view and the horizontal view. So 30 degrees is there. So from there, let the height of the tree be h in meters. We can use any symbol to represent the height, but I am using h to represent the height of the tree. So from the diagram above, the diagram here, we have our angle, we have the opposite, and we have the adjacent. So which of the formulas can we use to solve the question? The one that contains opposite, adjacent, and the angle, which is what now? Tan. So from here we have tan 30 equals to h all over 18. When we cross multiply, we have h to be equals to 18 times tan 30, and tan 30 equals 0.5774. When we multiply, punching our calculator, we have 10.3932 meters. We are not asked to approximate here, so we'll leave it like that. In mathematics, whenever you are given a question to solve, we must always finalize. We must always finalize. So we have, therefore, the height of the tree is 10.3932 meters. In subsequent questions, we shall analyze other examples. Thank you.
Looking at our example number 2, the question says the angle of depression from the top of a building of height 30 meters of a stationary car is 41 degrees. Find the distance between the car and the top of the building. We have the diagram down here because the question is dealing with angle of depression. So which implies the first thing to draw is our horizontal view. Then the next one is the depressed view. And we said angle of depression is the angle formed between the horizontal view and the depressed view. So we have 41 between the horizontal view and the depressed view there. But in one of the requirements that was given in the last class, we said alternate angles are equal for angles of depression only. So which implies we're going to transfer that 41 degrees from up to down to show that alternate angles are equal. So from that triangle TBC, our point C, we have angle 41 degrees. So the distance between the car and the top of the building is TC. From the diagram, you can see that the distance is TC. From there, which of the ratio do you think will be suitable to apply to solve the question? And please, I want us to take note. Most of our diagrams under elevation and depression will come in form of a rectangle, a triangle, or the combination of both triangle and a rectangle. So from here, the best suitable formula to use is the acronym SO, because we have the opposite and we are asked to find the hypotenuse. So we have opposite hypotenuse. The one that contains opposite hypotenuse is SO. So from there we have our sine 41 degrees equals to 30, which is the opposite, all over TC, which is the hypotenuse. We cross multiply, we have TC multiplied by sine 41 degrees equals 30 degrees. Our TC equals 30 all over sine 41 when we divide both sides by sine 41, making TC the subject of the formula. From there, our sine 41 equals 0.6561. So the result will be TC equals 30 all over 0.6561. When we divide punching our calculator, we have our final result to be equal to 45.7247 meters. Therefore, the distance between the car and the top of the building is 45.7247 meters. Now, looking at example number 3. A man standing on top of a tower, 10 meters high, view the top of a building at an angle of elevation of 60 degrees. If the tower and the building are 15 meters apart, how high is the building? Invariably, we are asked to find the height of the building. We are given options: 45 meters, 50 meters, 55 meters, and 90 meters. So we'll take the diagram first. We have, from the shape there, the building and the tower are 15 meters apart, which is represented by line AB. The top height of the tower is 10 meters, which is represented by DA. Then from there, we have our angle of elevation to be 60 degrees. And we see from that labeling that CB was not given initially, we were only given DA. If you check one of our requirements too, we said opposite sides of a rectangle are always equal. That shape DCBA forms a rectangle, which implies our line CB will be equal to 10 meters. Also, our line DC was not given. It was only AB that was given. But from that requirement too, our DC must be equal to our AB. So we input DC to be equal to 15√3 meters. TC is X unknown, but the height of the building is TB. If you check, the height of the building is TB, which is equal to a line now being formed into segments by the point C. And we check our requirement 4. Whenever a line is divided into segments by a point, then the length of that line will be equal to the segment formed. So we have segment TC and CB. So the height of the building, which is TB, will be equal to TC plus CB. So from the diagram, we have DA equal to CB, which I have explained, equals to 10 meters. We have DC, line DC equals to line AB, which is equal to 15√3 meters. So from the triangle TCD, we have tan 60 equals X all over √15, because that shape forms a triangle. Like I told you, most of the diagrams that we'll be having under elevation and depression will be either a triangle separate or combinations of a triangle and a rectangle. And that triangle is always, in most cases, a rectangle triangle. So from here, the suitable one to use is TOA. And we have our tan equals to X all over 15√3. When we cross multiply, we have our X to be equals to 15√3 times tan 60. And tan 60 equals √3. So when we multiply 15√3 times √3, that will give us 45. Because √3 times √3 will give us 3. So 3 times 15 will give us 45 meters. And TB, which is the height of the building, will now be equals to TC plus CB, which will give us S plus 10. And everything becomes 45 plus 10 meters. And we have our 55 meters. So which implies the correct option to this question is option C. Thank you.